I love that y'all want to keep this going, honestly. So, part 8 of deceased people who are not good people. Let's go.
Coming in first, we have Alfred Hitchcock, who is known to traumatize multiple actresses in his biggest films. First with Janet Leigh, making her stand in a shower for almost a week, and now she only takes baths. And he even threw birds at Tippi Hedren for 5 days straight so they would be pissed off and attack her naturally. Next, we have Alexander Graham Bell, who is known to invent the telephone, but actually he didn't. He pretty much took credit after the person who really invented it died. And on top of that, he wanted to take sign language out of schools and wanted to ban deaf people from marrying each other. Next, we have Joseph Smith, who founded the Mormon Church. He was known to have multiple child wives as young as 14 years old, and also the men in his church that would go on missions, he would go and sleep with their wives. And he was in jail for destroying a printing press that was going to run the story of his child wives.
All right, let's do it. Here is part 7 of deceased people who were not good people. Let's go.
First up, we have Joan Rivers, who was known for saying a lot of controversial and offensive statements in her day. She would make fun of miscarriages, abuse, even babies. And one of the worst things she ever said was referring to Heidi Klum, saying the last time a German was this hot, they were pushing Jews in an oven. Next, we have Thomas Edison, who was known for being a thief of different inventors' ideas, but one of the worst things he ever did in an attempt to prove Nikola Tesla wrong was to publicly electrocute different animals, from stray dogs, horses, and even an elephant at one point. Next, we have Pablo Picasso, who was known for being a huge misogynist, but on top of that, there was a lot of art that he created depicting himself forcing himself on women multiple times. On top of the fact that every single woman in his life had a major nervous breakdown, and 2 of them unalived themselves because of him.
Oh, I came prepared. It's time for part 6 of deceased people who were not good people. Let's go.
All right, first up, we have Joan Crawford, who is known for being a huge actress in her day, but she was actually very abusive to her daughter. She was violent. She shredded her daughter's clothes and made her wear them to humiliate her. And allegedly, she killed her 4th husband. Next, we have Albert Einstein, who was actually a horrible husband to his wife. Before they got married, he gave her a long list of misogynistic conditions for her to do before they got married, and then proceeded to have an affair with his cousin, which led to his wife having a complete nervous breakdown. Conservatives are going to get mad, but I'm coming at Rush Limbaugh, who said a lot of derogatory stuff against black people, and even said that slavery wouldn't have lasted as long as it did if it was a bad thing. And he also said during those times, the streets at night were actually a lot safer.
Okay, let's get into it. Here's part 5 of deceased people who were not good people. Let's get started.
Okay, first up, we have Walt Disney, who is known for being racist and very anti-Semitic and also a little bit sexist. He also had an issue with not hiring minorities at Disneyland when it first opened. Next, we have Coco Chanel, who actually had a relationship with a Nazi officer, was involved in multiple Nazi missions, and even had an agent number with the regime. Okay, next we have H.P. Lovecraft, who was known to be a huge anti-Semite and very, very racist, wrote a lot of derogatory poems about black people, said that Jewish people should be muzzled, and said that Hitler's ideals were romantic. All right, next we have Pablo Neruda, who actually forced himself on his maid in 1929 and also had an 8-year-old daughter with a life-threatening condition, and he refused to pay for her medical care and assistance out of the country during World War II. Next, we have Patrick Henry, who is known for the saying, "Give me liberty or give me death," but he did not keep the same energy with his mentally ill wife. She was locked in a cellar. A slave tended to her with no medical care until she unalived herself, and he buried her in his backyard in secret.